Welcome to the Answer is Yes podcast, where we interview some of the most interesting people that have said yes to opportunities in their life. We hope that through these stories, you can learn to create your own destiny by saying yes along the way. Join us as we explore the new series covering topics such as passion, integrity, and hard work. I'm your host, Jim Riley, and I hope you enjoy these interviews as much as I do. I believe that everyone has an important message worth hearing. Hey, welcome to the Answer Yes podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Today I'm interviewing Peggy Sulahain. She is the 100th Housewife of Orange County. Find that show on Bravo Network. And what is great is she just really opens up about being bullied on the show. She says she'll answer any question I was willing to ask, and I typically don't go down that road, so I didn't. But more importantly than that, I think she brought us some great advice as a wife, as a mother, and as somebody that has struggled through breast cancer. And she's very open about being in love with yourself and being okay with your body as it relates to going through those types of struggles. And I think that that's where the real value is in this show. So I'm thrilled to have her on. We jump right into the interview. She talks about her childhood and her husband and getting together at a young age and having kids. And I just really enjoyed my time with her. And you must know that once we stopped recording, I spent another hour on the line just getting to know her. And if you want to just talk about a very special person, Peg is that person. I hope you hear that through this interview. So please enjoy it, comment, send me questions, emails. If you love the show, please pass it. All right, so we've got Peggy on the line and really appreciate you being here. Let's talk about your growing up and, what life was like for you when you were younger and kind of how things started for you.
Sure. Well, I've gone through a lot of turmoil. At the age of 13, I found out my mom has breast cancer. And basically, I've been in and out of hospitals taking care of her. And the whole family taking care of her. And it's been really difficult. She succumbed to her death when she was 51 years old. After that, I got married at the age of 21 and was pretty young to Peggy Sulahain, who is my husband now for 24 years. We just celebrate our 24th. I'm sorry. Well, did I say 24? I mean 25.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. One husband, 3 kids, same husband. We live in OC, so there's different perspectives. So I got married at the age of 21 and to Peggy. So we have 3 children together, Giovanna, Gianelle, and Coco Sulahain. And that's where our business comes in from. We call it Giovanna Wheels, and it's named after my daughter's name, Giovanna. Mm-hmm. And we've been in the business for 23 years. And I can say that Giovanna Wheels has expanded to 5 different unique brands: Giovanna Wheels, Gianelle Design, Coco Couture, Coco Solid, and GFG Forge Modular Wheels. And no other luxury wheel company can claim this. And it's with over 1 million cars, trucks, SUVs that's on the road with our wheels on it. So each brand is unique and has its own presence in the marketplace. We also have an apparel line with T-shirts and hats and hoodies. So if you go to our website, giovannawheels.com, and put in House 500, you get 30% off. So,
all right.
And just a little background on my husband. He started with swap meets, and his father had given him $500, and he turned it into $5,000, like I said on the show. So he's pretty smart. He's got like a different outlook into cars. He loves cars. He loves dressing it up, and it's his passion. So he has a passion for it. So I think that's where part of the success is. Like I said, we've been in the business for 24 years, and it's pretty solid, and nobody can come close to it.
Mm-hmm. I love what you said about he worked the swap meets, because as a kid, my dad was in the car business, and he would send me and my brother to the swap meets on weekends with leftover parts of things, and we would sell them, and he would give us a commission and stuff. And that was a good way to make money as a kid. But as an adult, I love it. I would I still go to the swap meet once a year to sell stuff out of the garage, things that I don't need, or leftover race parts for my off-road team. And what a fascinating experience, not only to meet people, but to just have the commerce of trade and understanding the fact that that's where your husband started. It just proves that, his business was built on a solid foundation. Well, I should say your business, because it's a group effort, was built on a solid foundation.
Right.
I just love hearing that. So thank you for sharing that part of your story.
You're very welcome. So, yeah, he used to go at 4 o'clock in the morning, used to stand in line, so he would get his spot. He started off selling like parts and just anything. So he was very determined, hard worker, and he never gave up. So that's part of his success and where he's built an empire. It's interesting, just to take a little twist from, the topic of our story here. In this environment that we're all living in right now, people are out of jobs or different things, businesses are closing, and people feel a little bit desperate. But where there's a will, there's a way. And, I always say that.
Right? The swap meet is so filled of opportunity, to make, if you need to make some short change, because you don't know what else to do, what a great place to go have some cash commerce and build a foundation for something. So you can't discount what's available out there.
Exactly. It's an opportunity for everybody. So I think that's a great place to start. But where there's a will, there's a way. Like you said, it's not easy. You just have to be very determined and hardworking and not give up and just, keep your eye on the prize, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your eye on your prize or what that goal is, because if you're determined, you'll figure it out, and you guys have done that. I thought I read somewhere that you were married early, as you just suggested, but did you guys break up and then get back together?
No, we did not break up.
Oh,
okay. That's false accusation.
Okay, good.
No, we didn't break up. Yeah, 25 years. I'm saying 24.
We're cleaning the record right now.
25 years. I'm sorry?
We're cleaning up the record right now.
Exactly. Ask me any questions.
Yeah.
I'm up to answering anything you've heard out there, any scrutiny, any gossip, or any false accusations. I can clear up anything. I have nothing to hide.
I love it.
And I've been asked every question, and I've answered honestly. So I'm up to any questions.
I'm not that creative. Don't worry.
Talking about anybody, saying things, pinpointing things. I'm very straightforward. I don't like to. I don't run around. I say things that are on my mind. That's why you either love me or you hate me. So if I'm saying something, I'm only teaching you something. So
the lessons in life, right?
The lessons in life where you don't want to hear it, so don't do it, so you don't have to hear it. Yeah, I'm pretty disciplinary. I discipline way too much. I think my kids even say we're old enough, stop disciplining us. I go, well, as a mom, you see it, you say it as it is, and that's just the type of person I am. I'm a Leo, so I don't know any other way.
Well, I like that about you already, and I appreciate that about anybody else like you. So let me ask you this, because, this show's about saying yes to opportunities. You said yes to your husband. You said yes to starting this business, but you also said yes to being a mom, which in my opinion, I've got a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old at the house, and I'm in my 50s, so it's not easy.
No.
But you said yes to being a mom, and that is a lot of work. What have been some of your successes and challenges as being a mom, and maybe some advice for other aspiring moms?
Well, the thing is that, yes, I did say yes to being a mom, even though it just happened. I didn't say yes.
It didn't just happen now.
Giovanna, the minute she was born, she started screaming. I'm like, put her back in. She's Giovanna's personality is little Peggy. She's very, like I said, determined. Says it as it is. Says it as it is. She's very mature for her age. She doesn't take anybody's BS and calls you out on it. And she's, like I said, very mature for her age. It Raising kids is very difficult. I'm not. Everybody's got their own way. There is no right or wrong way. It's how you take it, what works for you. I always say that whatever works for other people might not work for you. Every child has a different personality, and which is they're never the same. So the same technique doesn't work for all the children. So whatever, you have to be with them, you have to raise them when they're young, at a young age. That means from the beginning. When they're older, they're not going to listen to you. They're only going to be, led by example from what you've taught them and what they see from you. So that's very, very important. If you curse, they're going to curse. So it's what you lead by example. And you got to teach them when they're young. It's too late when they're old and parents say, they're not listening to me, which is normal. All those things are normal. They go through these stages, and you have to be patient. And you treat them differently, because what works for one child does not work for the other. So you have to be patient as well. And just, take it one day at a time. Every day is going to be a different situation, different problems, and your problems are never going to go away at any age. You're always going to think, okay, I can't deal with this, which is normal, but you have to be patient, and you have to see, run its course, and then something else changes. I still have problems until now. They're older. They always come to us, but it's always an issue. It's always a problem. It's accidents. They drive, so we have to. It's a different problem right now since they were young. But having them as young, as babies is so much easier. And parents say, "Oh, it's difficult when they're kids. I'm tired." Wait till they're older and they drive, and God forbid they get into accidents or, run into problems with their friends. Problems just grow, and it never goes away. So you have to be ready for anything. And it's not easy raising kids. It's not easy at all.
I appreciate you talking about, educating them when they're young and teaching them when they're young. It's actually affirming. I'm involved with the a group called the Better World Trust, and one of the initiatives, it's a nonprofit. One of the initiatives is the intent of educating kids when they're young, pre-K ages, because they're so foundational then. And I've learned in my own household, the more I can teach my kids at that young age, because they're like sponges, right? They're gonna grow up. They're gonna grow up and be what you teach them at that young age, right?
Exactly. So you want them to be mini you. You don't want them to be somebody else. You want them, the whole family, to think the same. If one person does not think the same, that's really a problem. So you have to raise them the same way, thinking the same way. Just doing everything together makes it so much easier. And you have to keep a close family knit, so the kids are always with you. You're growing together, and a family, there's nothing more important than having family. Everything comes and goes, but family has to stick together no matter what condition or situation you guys are in.
I love that. So, maybe some advice for aspiring parents out there. I hear so often a young couple, they want to have kids, but they want to wait for the right time. Usually it's financial based. We want to have financial security. You're telling me at a very young age, 21, you had your first child. Your husband's, slinging stuff at the swap meet, trying to make ends meet. Now, and I completely understand he probably was working hard, but that doesn't sound like the financial security that you have today. I think you just need to have a family when it feels right, even if all that support's not there. What do you think?
Well, the swap meet, when he worked at the swap meet, he was 18 years old, 18, 19, 20.
Yeah.
And at 24, he had a retail store called Modern Auto, and it was very solid then, wheel business. And that was very solid too, and it was in the business for 15 years, I would say. And he was very successful then. Like I said, he's a hard worker.
Yeah.
So he was very successful then. At the age of 21, 22, he had a Ferrari, he had a Benz.
Oh, okay.